Americana is the fifth studio album by the American punk rock band The Offspring, released on November 17, 1998. Following a worldwide tour in support of its previous album, Ixnay On the Hombre, The Offspring commenced work on a new album. The music on the album marked a change, expanding their sound and exploring more pop-punk elements. Americana was a huge commercial success, debuting at number 6 on the Billboard 200 with around 175,000 copies sold in its first week and peaking at number 2 for 2 non-consecutive weeks, spending 22 weeks non-consecutive in the top 10, becoming The Offspring's highest-ever chart position. It is the band's second best-selling album to their 1994 breakout smash. Americana has sold more than 15 million copies worldwide with over 9 million copies certified, while going 5x platinum in the United States for 5 million copies shipped. The album contains the hit singles Pretty Fly, Why Don't You Get a Job, and The Kids Aren't Alright being the band's 3 biggest hits to date, all crossing over from mainstream rock and alt-rock radio to top 40 pop radio stations and sharing the similar success to the singles from Smash. She's Got Issues was the last single from the album and it only received some moderate success and it was not as popular or successful as its 3 prior hit singles, making the song an unsuccessful finish for the album. The singles can also be heard on the band's Greatest Hits compilation. The compact disc version of the album also featured the Meaning of Life music video from the 1997 album, Ixnay On the Hombre, playable on DVD ROM. Americana was nominated for the 1999 MTV Europe Music Awards for Best Album, but lost to Boyzone's By Request. The Offspring supported the album with a worldwide tour and appeared at the infamous Woodstock 1999, where their performance was broadcast live on pay-per-view television. It is also the last Offspring album to contain a hidden track. Background and recording: after the unexpected success of Smash, The Offspring was signed to Columbia Records in 1996, releasing the fourth studio album Ixnay On the Hombre to moderate success. Although Ixnay On the Hombre was not as well received as Smash, it managed simultaneous gold and platinum certification in the United States in April 1997. After touring in support of Ixnay On the Hombre, The Offspring began writing new material for their next album. Frontman Dexter Holland told Rolling Stone in August 1998 that, "I wanted to write a record that wasn't a radical departure from what we've done before. I feel like we have managed to change stuff up from Ignition to Smash to Ixnay. We're in a place where we more or less set the boundaries where we can do a lot of stuff without having to stretch it out farther. And do a swing song or something." Recording took place from July to September 1998 at El Dorado Recording Studios with producer Dave Jordan, who also produced Ixnay On the Hombre. On the album's direction, Holland told Guitar World, "The idea wasn't to reinvent the wheel. We expanded our horizons on our last record and that's okay, but I don't feel like you have to be a completely different band on every record." One of the songs, Pay the Man, was actually recorded during the making of Ixnay On the Hombre, but was left out because it sounded too different from anything else the band had currently made, in a dark, psychedelic rock heavy metal sound, comparable to stoner rock. The structure of the song more resembles progressive rock. Holland also contributed the song Too Much Drama to the Vandals album Hitler Bad, Vandals Good, which was released 5 months before Americana. The chorus melody is reused on this album on the song Walla Walla. Music: Americana contains themes of unhappy American lifestyles. Speaking of the album shortly after its release, Holland explained, "The songs on Americana aren't condemnations, they're short stories about the state of things and what we see going on around us. We want to expose the darker side of our culture. It may look like an episode of Happy Days out there in America, but it feels more like Twin Peaks." Release and reception: Americana was released on November 17, 1998 and peaked at number 2 on the Billboard 200 album chart, the highest position the band attained at the time, and so their highest thus far. Shortly after its release, the album was certified gold and then later platinum. The album received positive reviews. Michael Galicki of AllMusic described the album as a raucous ride through America as seen through the eyes of a weary, but still optimistic, Young Kid. Galecki praised the music as a hearty combination of poppy punk, and a blend of salsa and alterna rock sounds, stating the band's music was taking a different direction. The album received a rating of 3 out of 5 stars, while Pretty Fly, Why Don't You Get a Job? The Kids Aren't Alright, and She's Got Issues earned The Offspring its heaviest airplay on MTV and radio stations to date. Packaging. The album's cover art, illustrated by Frank Kozik, features a blond boy with an orthopedic boot seated on a swing holding a sand flea with a tentacle reaching out to him. On the back cover either the flea or the unseen tentacle creature appears to have eaten the boy, as only the boot remains on the swing. Pictures in the booklet are also illustrations for the songs, and these pictures are also used on the single covers. In the booklet of the album, where the lyrics to Pay the Man are, there is an image that is extremely similar to a design of a poster for the No Control tour, featuring Bad Religion. Considering both pieces of art are by Kozik, it is likely that the Offspring requested this piece of art to be used in the booklet. The typeface used for the band's logo on the album cover, Frizz Quadrata Bold, has also been used by Bad Religion. Some pressings of Americana are also enhanced CDs and contain the karaoke videos of Staring at the Sun, Pretty Fly, and Why Don't You Get a Job? And the previous MTV music videos from its predecessor, Ixnay On the Hombre. Track listing: all songs written and composed by Dexter Holland, except where noted. Liner notes show that all songs are written by The Offspring. Pay the Man ends at 8:08, followed by the hidden track Pretty Fly at 9:16. The track is a mariachi reprise of the song Pretty Fly that lasts for only a minute. The main drum riff on Pay the Man is the same drum riff found on the title track of Smash during the acoustic version of Come Out and Play. Chart positions: Album, North America, Australia; Singles, North America, Australia, and of Decade charts, charts and certifications. Personnel: The Offspring, Dexter Holland Euro-lead vocals, rhythm guitar, Noodles Euro lead guitar, backing vocals, Greg Ka Euro bass, backing vocals, Ron Welty Euro drums, other musicians, Carlos Gomez Euro guitar, Brian Karlstrom Euro engineer, Annette Cisneros Euro assistant engineer, Derek Davis Euro flute, Chris X13 Higgins Euro vocals, Dave Jordan Euro producer, mixing, Eddie Schreier Euro mastering, Sean Evans Euro art direction, Frank Kozik Euro artwork, Gabriel McNair Euro hon, John Mayer Euro vocals, Justin Biopa Euro artwork, Alvaro Mazes Euro by Gerla, Phil Jordan Euro hon, Davey Havoc Euro vocals, Jack Grisham Euro vocals, Nika Frost Euro vocals. References, general references, Americana. The Offspring. Columbia Records 1998. Notes. External links, official page for the album.